Hey Playas, how you doing? Welcome back to Playas Guide. On this episode of Playas Guide, I'll be talking about collecting for the Wii and some of the rare games that you're going to want to keep an eye out for on the Wii. I've covered many other different Nintendo systems, including the Wii U, the GameCube, and the N64. So if you're a Nintendo collector and you're interested in collecting for any of those systems or getting started collecting for them, I'll put a link to some of those videos at the end of this one, so stick around. So the Wii has 1,268 different games, and there's probably another Just Dance game on the way. And I'm not counting the Netflix disc, which is also rare, the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy disc, another one that is also pretty rare, or any of the demo discs, which are all pretty rare themselves. I think Monster Hunter 3 is the most common of those demo discs. I'm not exactly sure how many there are, but I believe that they were shipped out to retailers to put in their Wii kiosks during the Wii's lifespan in retail stores. However, I'm not sure if there were any sent out with Nintendo Power or for any sort of promotional use. As far as I'm aware, there isn't. But if you know better, please let me know in the comments below. If you're collecting for the Wii, it's good to know that there are 5 different Wiis. There's white, black, red, and blue. And there was also a Wii Mini, which lacked internet compatibility and backwards compatibility. I think there was a few other features it was missing. This was sold at a cheaper price point at the very end of the Wii's lifespan, even going into the Wii U's lifespan. Originally, it was going to be a Canadian exclusive, but wasn't. It turned out to be sold all over North America. And as far as Wiimotes, there are 12 different colored licensed Wiimotes. Some of them had Luigi and Princess Peach and Mario. I'll put a picture here for you to check out what different ones there are available if you're interested in collecting for peripherals. If you're interested in collecting for peripherals, the Wii has a ton of weird ones. There was a Wii bowling ball, which is I guess that makes sense. There was some bowling games. There was also a billiards cue. A lot of these different controllers had to do with motion controls. There was a Wii helmet. I'm not sure what that exactly was used for. There was a Cyber Bike. So the Cyber Bike Cycle also had a pretty rare game that I'll get into a little bit later attached to it. There were Wii Wings. I guess you could fly in some games. There was a Baby Doll for babysitting. I think it was for the game Baby Mama. I guess a spin-off on the Cooking Mama series. And I think the most interesting ones are the inflatable race car, the vitality sensor, and the Wii car adapter, so you could play Wii on the go at any time. Okay, so let's get to the rare games, because I'm sure you want to know what is rare and what to look for if you're collecting on the Wii. Now, I have a long list that I've compiled from many different websites and resources. So, some of these you might want to jot down. Others, I'm going to put the picture up here for what I would deem the rarest and seem to be consistent in rarity on many other people's rarity lists for the Wii as well. Rarest game on the Wii is the 2-for-1 Power Pack Winter Blast and Summer Sports. This is a very rare game, and you probably won't find it, but it's good to know that it's out there because you will probably find this one mixed in with a bunch of shovelware and crappy Wii games if you are fortunate enough to come across it. American Mensa Academy. that would be the next rarest game on the Wii, or one of them. I don't know if I can really put a particular order on all of these because there are a lot of rare and uncommon games. Another one that is up there at the top of the rarity scale is the Cyberbike Cycle game. I talked briefly about the Cyberbike, so you can imagine, there was probably only as many copies of the game as there were the cycle, and because it's an accessory that takes up an excessive amount of space, and I don't imagine a lot of people really found it that appealing. Fritz Chess, this one is easier to find on the DS, not so rare. On the Wii, very hard to find. GTI Super Club Mini Fiesta, that's another rare one. My Horse and Me Riding for Gold. So this one has quite a bit of hype around it. It seems to appear on every person's rarity list or every rarity guide I could find online. So it's got to be considered pretty rare. Although some of these other games I'm mentioning, are more rare than this one, but it's up there, and because people know about the rarity of this one, there is a demand for it, and it is a bit pricey. Dragon's Lair Trilogy. This is a game I was unaware of its existence, and I've never seen a copy of this anywhere other than online, so it's pretty rare. Another rare one, and this one I actually have an eye out for and would really like to find, is the Data East Arcade Collection. It looks like a great collection of games on the Wii. Unfortunately, it's going to be really hard to find because this is a rare game. There are some other rare 2-for-1 games. One of them is the Kawasaki Jet Ski slash Summer Sports. So if you see any of these 2-for-1 games, I would pick them up because chances are it's going to be pretty rare and hard to find. The same goes for Maximum Racing. So if you see any of the Maximum Racing series, pick those up because they're all pretty rare. Super Carts is the rarest. But yeah, there's about 4 of them that are all pretty rare and hard to find. Lucha Libre Heroes Del Ring. I think this was a AAA wrestling game, which has me very interested, but I'm never going to get it because it's extremely rare and hard to find. Pick this one up if you see it. I never have, and it's pretty hard to come by. Okay, so I have a list here that is very extensive, and I'm just going to have to read it right off the page here because otherwise I'm going to mispronounce or miss something. And this is where I'm talking about getting a pen and paper down, because if you're looking for maybe not the rarest titles on the Wii, but also would like to start collecting and pick up some of the other rare titles, which are still very hard to find, then you're going to want to jot some of these down. So we have 101 Sports Party Mix is a rare game. Chuck E. Cheese Sports Games, another rare. These are all rare. Aqua Panic, Get Fit with Mel B, Crazy Machines, Mr. Bean's Wacky World, Let's Dance, Titanic Mystery, My Personal Golf Trainer, Deer Drive Legends, and then we have Reader Rabbit Preschool. And we have Reader Rabbit Preschool, Rogue Trooper, Hot Wheels, Beat That, Burger Bot, Target Terror, and Guilty Gear Ancient Core XX Plus. It's the XX Plus that's rare. The regular version of this game is an uncommon one, and it's still worth picking up, but I'll tell you, it doesn't play that well, and this is the reason why the extended version here is so rare, because it played like shit with the nunchuck, and that's what the game commanded you to use if you wanted to play it. And now for some uncommons that are pricey, hyped up in rarity, but you shouldn't have any trouble finding them. Your local game store should have at least one of these if you're going to a used game store that specializes in older generation games. So, Castle Ishikigami, if you have watched my Wii Shoot 'em Up video, then you're already familiar with this one. It's a great game. Pick it up if you can, but a lot of people know about it. F1 2009, One Piece, Walk It Out. Those two I've heard a lot of hype behind, but they really don't seem all that rare to me. Same with Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn, Fragile Dreams, Decapon Kingdom, The Last Story, Fishing Resort, Klonoa, Pandora's Tower. Um, those ones are actually, I see them quite often. They're not cheap though. It's just because a lot of people want those games. And last but not least on the list of uncommon but hyped up games, and I really feel like this one deserves it, is Tatsunoko versus Capcom. It is a great exclusive Capcom fighting game with a real Japanese style that Tatsunoko brings to it, that I think you should play and check out and buy it if you see it. I love this game. It is one of my favorite games on the Wii, and I picked it up back in the day by fluke. And if you watch Playas Guide on Twitch, then you know we used to hold a monthly Tatsunoko World Championship, and there is the title sitting behind me, which I currently hold. I hadn't for the longest time. So if you're interested in fighting games and streams and Tatsunoko, check out some of our older videos. Anyways, that is the list of rare and uncommon games for the Wii. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know the buttons that you need to be hitting. And that's it for this episode. Later, players.